If you are a beginner guitarist, this video is for you. Being a beginner guitarist is extremely fun because you're starting to learn guitar, and what's better than that? But it is also one of the most frustrating experiences in the world because you physically cannot always get your fingers to do what you want them to do. And a lot of times you'll see these amazing guitarists and be inspired by them. That's why you wanted to start playing guitar. And then you realize, oh wow, that's gonna take a very long time for me to get there. So a lot of times people will just give up. So I wanted to make this video to give you my tips in what I wish that I really would have focused on and kind of my mindset in the beginning so you can keep going and become the guitarist that you want to be. So let's go ahead and jump into my tips. So my first tip is to really set yourself up with a good sound instrument that you like as you're playing. I think the general advice for beginners is don't really worry too much about what guitar you're getting. Just go ahead and choose anything and start playing on that. But I have found that if you have a crappy instrument that constantly goes out of tune and makes it harder to play, it's gonna be a lot easier to get discouraged and just think, I'm just not good at guitar. So some ideas that I have for you if you don't have a huge budget and you are wanting to start is one, find a guitar like this one. This is the Sterling by Music Man Cutlass, and this guitar is really inexpensive and it just plays great. So I would suggest go to a physical guitar store and try at least 5 of them and just kind of pay attention. If I come back to this guitar, did it stay in tune? And overall, do you like how the neck feels to play? Even after playing a few, if you just know one chord, you're gonna get a bit of an idea if you like one more than the other. Last thing about gear, I would definitely recommend starting to learn about sounds of tone and pedals in the beginning. So trying some very simple pedals that just have, maybe 3 knobs. Like I love this delay. This is the MXR carbon copy, and trying just 1 or 2 can make it feel less intimidating as you are keeping up learning. Tip number 2 is try to stay in your own lane and not compare yourself. This is one of the most tricky things to do on guitar, and I think a lot of the best guitarists I've seen are just good at learning and they stay in their own lane and just love to play because they love it. I think for me, one of the biggest culprits to just making me feel discouraged is honestly scrolling through Instagram, and sometimes I will see a post and instantly feel like I've gotten nowhere. I put in all this time and I still suck at guitar. So trying to keep those negative thoughts out if you are using Instagram, thinking of it more as a learning tool. Also, when you are playing, setting your expectations a lot lower than you think for improvement. It's probably gonna take you way longer time to get good than you think you do in your mind. So just every time you pick up your guitar, thinking about learning one little thing and just doing it for fun rather than I need to get good fast. My third tip is focusing on learning songs more than learning theory in the beginning. I think theory and scales have their time and place, but I think a lot of times just starting by, if you can immediately try to get one song down or something, it's gonna make playing feel a lot more fun, and it's also gonna start developing your ability to listen to melodies and play more melodically than just know a few scales, and then when you go to play somewhere, you don't actually feel like you know what to play. So thinking about learning songs in the beginning is a really good way, I think, just to stay inspired and just make learning a lot more fun. My last tip is to play out or in person as soon as you possibly can. I think it's very easy to get in your head when you're playing at home and never feel like you're reaching this point of good enough to play with other people. But honestly, playing out and with other people are the biggest thing that's gonna keep you going with guitar and make it feel like there's a reason to actually practice. And it also just makes it a lot more fun when you're getting out there and able to actually share things with other people. So now that we've covered my biggest tips, let's jump into a few rapid fire tips that I wish I'd known in the beginning. Sometimes it's easy to think, I don't really need a tune, but trust me, you will want a tune or everything you play will always sound bad. This is called the action, how high the strings are from the neck of your guitar, and keeping that lower is going to make things a lot easier for you, and it's gonna make you play a lot faster. When you are choosing your gear, also factor in how much that gear weighs because you are later going to be hauling that around to gigs. When you're buying cables, why not get fun colored ones? And also remember to wrap them every time you're done playing so they don't get damaged. Learning how to play a lot of different chords with just 2 fingers is very handy for switching in the beginning and keeping your 3rd and 4th finger on the 3rd fret of the B and E string. Take the time to learn how to use a pick, even if you plan on usually finger picking, because it's nice to have the option and can also help you play a lot faster. Except that you will have nubby fingernails, and keep them that way because short fingernails is going to make it so much easier to play guitar rather than tapping along your fretboard. Strumming your guitar lighter is going to make it sound a lot prettier and have better tone, so focus on playing light in the beginning as opposed to heavy strumming versus light strumming. So hang in there if you were just starting, and just remember to try to make it all based on having fun and just enjoying learning. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that these tips help you.